IDP Pros podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use the promo code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on NFL football. Only on the DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code SGP.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of the Dirty-O-IDP Throwdown. We're here to give you our week 3 picks. I am your host, Axton Harding, at Harding_3 on Twitter, and I'm here with my co-host, Jake Colhagen, or at LateRoundDB on Twitter, or the X app, however you prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Jake so he can give you his IDP picks for the week, and we'll get her going.
All right, we're jumping in at the D tackle spot with Kenny Clark. The Saints showed us exactly what the Titans pass rush could do against them in week 1. The Packers are going to be bringing a very strong pass rush across the entire front there, but Kenny Clark and Devontae Wyatt are going to just eat on that interior. And for Clark, we're looking for a sack as well as a 3+ tackle game. Just a nice strong performance for him there. At the defensive end position or the edge position, looking at Leonard Floyd of the Buffalo Bills. Very, very favorable matchup against Washington's O-line. They've looked like turnstiles on the edges there, just letting anyone pass through. Floyd's going to do it. And, you know, the addition of Howell liking to extend plays with his legs, just giving that defensive line more time to get after him. I'm looking for a sack plus for Floyd. Possibly, you know, that 1.5 to 2 sack range is what I think we can see from Leonard Floyd in week 3. At linebacker, Alex Anzalone. So kind of a gross name in some of the IDP circles. You know what? But volume is going to be king in this game. And Arthur Smith, he's the king of running volume. He doesn't care what year it is or what you say about his team. He's going to run the ball. And Falcons' opponents, linebackers, are feasting from this. We're looking for 9+ total tackles in Alex Anzalone in week 3. And finally, at defensive back, Justin Simmons. We've seen what Tua and the Dolphins like to do. They like to be able to attack down the field. Unless you're watching the game right now, they're not getting the downfield too much quite yet. But I think we see that still against the Denver Broncos. And with that, Justin Simmons is going to get 5+ total tackles, and he's going to find a way to make a splash play, breaking up a pass, maybe even getting an INT or a fumble.
Right on. Good picks there. All right, well, we got the IDP side, and then I'll follow it up here with my offensive picks. To start, I chose quarterback Lamar Jackson up against the Indianapolis Colts. I think this Colts defensive line is going to make he's going to be running for his life all game anyway, so I think that maybe he could squeeze out a few good long plays to over the top and beat this secondary, and maybe even beat those edge defenders around the edge and cut off a few big runs here. So we're looking to be 200 yards passing and a touchdown and 40 yards rushing. So we're going with Lamar Jackson at the quarterback position. For running back, I'm going Jamal Williams against the Green Bay Packers. They've been surprisingly generous to running backs in the first couple of weeks. And with regard to the lack of rushing in week 1 against the Bears, although they did have success when they did run this week in week 2, Bijan just torched him for 124 rushing yards. So we're just looking to beat Jamal Williams' rushing for 46 yards at his average for the year. He hasn't scored a touchdown, so if he can get in the end zone, we'll get a point there. My wide receiver choice here is Jamar Chase going up against the LA Rams. The Cincinnati Bengals have just not had a great performance up to this point, and Jamar Chase is averaging right around 5 receptions and 30-some yards per game. So I think he can easily have a game, his first breakout game of the season, and get the ball rolling for this Bengals offense. So Jamar Chase as my wide receiver. For my tight end, I'm going with Kyle Pitts. Another one of those that's kind of got a low floor up to this point in the season, so we don't have a tough average to beat against the Detroit Lions. We're just looking to get a couple of receptions and beat 30 yards a game. So I think that he can easily get, if not one play or a couple of big plays over the top of this hurting secondary and the Lions defense. They just allowed Noah Fant in week 2 to go for 56 yards. So I think Kyle Pitts, albeit he doesn't have a very high ceiling in this offense, I think he can surpass that 30-yard average. So there's our week 3 picks, and thanks, and we'll see you next week.